Discover the mystery behind one of the most intriguing theories in American history. In the late 1970s, former New York City police detective and mafia expert Ralph Salerno delved deep into the investigation of JFK's assassination. Did the mafia play a role in this shocking crime? Theories regarding mafia involvement have surfaced in headlines since the assassination of President Kennedy on November 22, 1963. Few historical events have sparked as many conspiracy theories, possibly numbering in the hundreds or even thousands, as the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas, in 1963. From theories of an inside job to an unidentified umbrella, extraterrestrials, multiple gunmen, and a cooperative effort between Cubans and Soviets. Various entities have been suspected of either orchestrating or being directly involved in Kennedy's death. The mafia has also been a significant subject of these theories. Despite being officially dismissed and often mocked over the years, the ideas of mafia involvement remain persistent and captivating. This notion was even referenced in Martin Scorsese's 2019 film, Taunty the Irishman, where crime boss Russell Bufalino, portrayed by Joe Pesci, remarks, "If they can whack a president, they can whack the president of a union." Conspiracy theorists believe that Teamster leader Jimmy Hoffa conspired with the mafia to kill JFK. For a long time, conspiracy theorists have speculated that the mafia was involved in the assassination due to the animosity that arose when JFK and his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, launched a campaign to curb the mafia's influence within the Teamsters Union. When JFK was elected president in 1960, he appointed Robert as Attorney General. In his new role, Robert launched a highly publicized attack on organized crime, specifically targeting Jimmy Hoffa, who had been elected leader of the Teamsters Union in 1957. At that time, the union controlled the majority of truck transportation in the United States. Hoffa was known for his associations with major mafia bosses, as the mafia had already infiltrated many unions in major cities. As a senator, Robert prosecuted Hoffa on extortion charges, although no conviction was secured against the Teamster leader. Upon becoming Attorney General, Robert went as far as forming a Get Hoffa squad to assist in his pursuit, ultimately succeeding in bringing him to justice. In 1964, Hoffa was convicted of attempting to bribe a grand jury and sentenced to 8 years in prison. However, it was the Kennedys' previous actions that fueled the theory of mafia involvement in the assassination. When JFK failed to overthrow Cuban leader Fidel Castro in 1961, mafia-controlled casinos on the island remained closed, angering American crime family bosses who had heavily invested to establish a tourist destination to rival Las Vegas. The theorists suggest that the mafia and Hoffa conspired to assassinate the president as an act of retaliation. Some believe that Robert Kennedy was the original target. According to lawyer Frank Regano's 1994 book, Who Represented Hoffa, the Teamster leader asked mafia bosses Santos Trafficante and Carlos Marcello to organize the assassination of President Kennedy. Regano also claims that on the day the president was killed, he toasted with Trafficante. Regano recalls a dying Trafficante confessing in 1987 to having a role in the assassination, though he mentions that the mafia boss regretted not killing Robert instead of his brother. Robert feared that he somehow had killed his brother, according to biographer Evan Thomas. That Robert Kennedy's efforts to prosecute the mafia and kill Castro had a terrible backfire, a terrible ricochet, as the intelligence services say, said Thomas. Bobby thought that he would be the one killed, not his brother, and now he has this chilling and horrible perception, or fear, that all his attempts to take down the mob and capture Castro somehow terribly backfired and haunted his family. Frank Sheeran claimed to have delivered weapons to Dallas before JFK's shooting. Irishman, based on the 2003 memoirs of investigator Charles Brandt, I Heard You Paint Houses, depicts the life of Teamster official Frank the Irishman Sheeran and his connection to the Bufalino crime family and Hoffa. Although omitted from the film, Brandt writes in the book that Sheeran claimed to have delivered 3 rifles to Dallas in the days preceding Kennedy's assassination, the same type of rifle used in the shooting. There was no available evidence pointing to mafia involvement. In the late 1970s, former New York City police detective and Mafia expert Ralph Salerno was a consultant investigating the Mafia's involvement in JFK's assassination for the House Select Committee on Assassinations. Salerno said he reviewed thousands of pages of electronic surveillance of organized crime leaders across the United States at the time of the assassination and did not hear anything suspicious. Salerno struggled to find Mafia involvement in JFK's death, according to Assassination Kennedy Half-Century by author Larry J. Sabat. I thought it would have angered the entire nation against organized crime, so I would have loved to find something. But I didn't find that. The final report of the House Committee, while acknowledging that the National Syndicate of Organized Crime, as a group, was not involved in the assassination of President Kennedy, also notes that the available evidence does not preclude the possibility that individual members may have been involved. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories and investigation. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Join our community and never miss an episode.